And we are live. Whew. This game. I don't even know what to say anymore, honestly. Probably should have changed the stream name, but eh. I was thinking about it, but I don't even know what I'll change it to. Because it's just the same as yesterday's stream. Hey there, Brent. Lovely day, isn't it? Hey, Monka S. Hey, B. Long time no see. What brings you here? The old Steins streams, that's what brings you here? I mean, that's entirely fair. Steins 0 stuff gets crazy. Spoilers? I didn't know Steins 0 was gonna get crazy. So I still only have 3 endings, right? Yes. 80% of the album, missing 5 tips, and I've played this game for almost 50 hours now. Sound library. Oh, I see. Alright, well. Config. Oh, right. I forgot that's just options. We got work to do for these endings, mister. Better get going. I know. But I just like to... I like to give people at least like a couple minutes. Like give them like 2 minutes or so at least. To just get into the stream. Like, because I assume Carson's going to be here. So I don't want to just start off and then just immediately get into it. I usually wait for a couple people. And you know, I probably could just start right now because you and BE are here, but... I'm just fooling around in here for a second. Nope. I see. Jeez, that's a lot of hotkeys. Well, quick load. Paradox meltdown. I'm gonna have to start saving over some of these, because I am approaching the end of all these. So this is chapter 10 that we just started, right? Or did I just finish chapter 10? Okay. I thought that I had found the solution. That everything would be alright. But the equation was meaningless. I'd solved nothing. Instead, I'm left with a terrible choice. And I've been thinking that, like, I assume there's going to be like the final choice, and it's basically just going to be either the Maori end or the Kurisu end, based on which one survives. The choice I make. I assume that's the case. Don't tell me if it is or not. Maori or Kurisu. One of them must die. Unless it's the Fairy's end, for some reason. Radicon is still off limits. They haven't yet repaired the hole that Suzuha's time machine made. I look down through the hole at the streets of Akiba. From up here, they look narrow and stifling. Across the way, a train rumbles by. I watched the yellow striped cars move past. I came here because I wanted to be alone. The day before yesterday, I abruptly canceled the attack to hack CERN. Kurisu and Daru demanded an explanation, but I just couldn't give them one. The decision has paralyzed me. 2 days later, I'm still nowhere close to finding an answer. What do I do? 2 weeks ago, on July 28th, Dr. Nakabachi held a press conference in this very spot. The same day, Kurisu was murdered. Are we gonna figure out who murdered her? Don't answer that, obviously. Let's say we go through with the plan and delete the first email I sent, the one about Kurisu's death, from CERN's database. That would return us to the beta world line, where it all began. What would happen then? According to my predictions, our friend, LabMem004, Makise Kurisu, would disappear. Someone who died on July 28th cannot be alive now on August 15th. That would defy causality. The time paradox. That world line has already rejected her existence. The moment we erase that email, Kurisu will cease to exist. And so, I'm left with two options. Option 1. Hack CERN with the IBM 5100 and erase the first email I sent, thus returning to the beta world line. Kurisu will disappear, but Mayuri will live. CERN will never build a time machine, and the future will be free. Wait, is that how it works? I thought CERN still would have taken over the world like in 2036 or whatever, even in the beta world line. You can't just change the future like that. You created a time paradox. Option 2, don't hack CERN and keep living here on the alpha world line. Mayuri will die, so will Moika and FB. We don't really know anything about the beta world line except Kurisu's dead. I guess. I just kind of assumed. But yeah. Kurisu will likely be kidnapped by CERN, but at the very least she won't die. We only existed there in the prologue. Yeah. I mean, you're right, it's just like, you know, I kind of assumed that, like, that one thing... Well... No, I guess CERN would have taken over because of Rintaro making the time machine. Or making the phone wave. And using it for time travel, so then they'd steal it. Okay. So then if he never makes it, and they don't ever realize it's a time machine, then CERN wouldn't, they wouldn't steal it, so they wouldn't be able to take over the world. Kurisu was the mother of the time machine, and she had... Right, I forgot about that. I forgot that she was like... Yeah, because she's the one that actually makes the time leap machine. Me and Daru just make the phone wave. Which is still a breakthrough for sure, but actually time leaping is way better. With her research, CERN will gain control of space-time, and the future will be a dystopia where no one is free. And I'm supposed to choose? Ridiculous. I choke out a laugh. How am I, of all people, supposed to make that choice? It's fine, you don't have to make that choice, Rintaro. I do. There's no way. I don't really care about the future, whether it's free or ruled by CERN. Ooh. Computer noises. I know I should care. Suzuha entrusted her wish to me. Doesn't that make it my responsibility? But still, it doesn't seem quite real. 20 years is a long time. Right now, only Mayuri and Kurisu matter. I must choose which to save. If I had been given this choice back on July 28th, before this all started, probably would have not hesitated to abandon Kurisu and save Mayuri. But it's not July 28th. It's August 15th. I've spent 2 long weeks with Kurisu. She's one of us now, an integral part of the lab. And as I leapt through as I leapt through time again and again, she was the person I relied on most. Always calm, always thoughtful, always ready with a new hypothesis. Always there to give me a push when I needed it most. I wouldn't even have the time leap machine if not for Kurisu. It's thanks to her that I've made it this far. After all she's done for me, there's no way I can abandon her now. But nor can I let Mayuri die. Everything I've done, I did to save her. I would give anything, even my own life, to see her safe. I mean, I feel like it's still a pretty easy option, like a pretty easy choice, just because, like, you know, you're deciding the life of these two people, but you're also deciding whether or not CERN takes over the world. So, like, I think it should be fairly obvious to just choose the one where CERN doesn't take over the world. If you have to choose one. If there's a third option, great, I'll take it. But if you have to do one of those two, it seems like it's just like an easy choice to do the one without the time machine so that CERN doesn't destroy everything. More than anything, I want her to live. No matter what, I won't let her die. But how can we ship them if she dies? I mean, no, I probably shouldn't say that. I can't choose. I can't. Kill Kurisu or kill Mayuri. That is the choice. Wait, that is what this choice comes down to. Is this how it ends? What the heck was that? Oh, okay. I drive my fist into the wire fence. Suzuha, Fades, Lukaku, Moika. Is this what I sacrifice your memories for? Is there no other option? No way to save them both? What if I use Suzuha's time machine? I could return to the Beta World line, then use her time machine to travel to July 28th. No, that won't work. The reason Suzuha leapt to 2010 was to prevent CERN from creating a dystopia. That only occurs on this world line. On the Beta World line, she'll have no reason to leap to 2010. Suzuha's time machine won't exist, so I won't be able to use it. Alright. Then what if I send Kurisu a warning via D-mail? You could say, don't go to Dr. Nakabashi's presentation. Yeah, but causality will still kill her. No, that won't work either. Remember, causality converges. Kurisu's death is inevitable on the Beta World line, just as Mayuri's is inevitable on this world line. No matter what I do, fate will ensure her death. There's no way. I slowly sink to the floor with my back against the fence. I can't save her. I'm powerless against the will of fate. What should I do? What should I do? Maybe Mayuri doesn't die on the current world line. I cancelled Moika's D-mail. Plus, I haven't had an opportunity to check the divergence meter since. Might there be a chance? Doubtful. If the pattern continues, Mayuri's death has been pushed back to the night of the 17th. If Mayuri doesn't die between 7 and 8 p.m. that night, then I won't have to face this horrible decision. I know it's unlikely. I understand that from all my experiences so far, but still, I can't help but cling to that hope. Mayuri and Kurisu. If I can just save them both, do it. And I don't care if the future is ruled by CERN. I'll betray Suzuha's dream if that's what it takes. So please, let Mayuri live. To whom should I make this desperate plea? God? Fate? The universe itself? Steins Gate? Either way, I'm just one insignificant human among billions. Will my prayers truly reach? I already know what the answer will be. And that knowledge, that certainty, is despair. Yo, Monokuma's here. He's looking for that despair. Kamio runs for 3 straight days. 3 straight days from the 15th to the 17th. On the last day, I go with Mayuri and stay with her from morning until Kamima closes. It's not really my thing though, and the crowd is ridiculous. So I wait off to the side with Mayoti's bags. From time to time, Mayoti appears with new bags for me to guard, and usually a snack for us to share, but most of the day I spend alone. To some extent, I'm here to escape reality, to empty my mind and forget my fears. But even when I close my eyes, I can still hear the footsteps of death approaching.
Ah, we're finally home.
It's already dark by the time the bus drops us back at Akiba. Mayoti's dragging her costume case behind her. I'm carrying bags covered in moe artwork and loaded with dojinshi. These are all Mayoti's purchases, not mine. I can't believe she bought so much. I guess the reason she doesn't cosplay herself is that she's too busy shopping. We get off the bus and just stand there for a while. What are you gonna do now? Head straight home?
Actually, I was thinking about going to the lab.
Need something?
Not really, but it's been a while since I got to relax with Okarin. I'm a little hungry, so I'll buy some juicy chicken #1 on the way.
Maybe Mayoti wants a taste of normalcy again, now that the chaos of Kamima has ended. I can't begrudge her for that. I stifle a groan and shrug my shoulders. Back to the lab then. Juicy chicken #1. Juicy chicken Robbie Rotten edition.
Hey, Okarin, why did you come with Mayushi today? You've never come to me with Kamima before. You're not interested in Moe, right?
I like robot anime, but not so much that I'd line up early in the morning for Kamima each year, like Daru and Mayori do.
So why did you come with me today?
Well, to confirm your death. Those words pop into my head, but I quickly shake them away. Why am I so set on Mayori dying? I want her to live, remember?
Well,
I just felt like it.
oh.
Suddenly, silence. A downhearted frown replaces the usual smile on Mayoti's face. Did my answer upset her? But it's not like I could tell her the truth. How do you tell someone they're gonna die? Lukako. I frantically try to smooth things over. I thought maybe you'd managed to get Lukako to cosplay, so I came to laugh at him. Too bad he didn't come.
Yeah, Luka-kun would be super popular if he did come, though. People would take his picture and post it all over the internet. Then everyone in the world would see how cute he is. And after he became a superstar, Mayushi would see him on TV and think, wow, he's gone so far.
It's scary because it's true.
Okarin?
Suddenly, Mayori turns around and peeks at my face as she walks backward.
Thank you for today.
Why are you thanking me?
Well, it's like I said. This is the first time Okarin's come to Kamima with me. It made Mayushi really happy.
A smile finally returns to Mayori's face.
Ah, but you know what would make me even happier? If you cosplay next time.
Yeah, I'll think about it. That's right. Don't think negative thoughts. This is about a fun, bright future.
Really? You'll cosplay for me?
Only if you cosplay too. Lukako too, and Christina, of course. Convince them to cosplay first. If you manage that, then I, the great and insane mad scientist Hoen Kyoma, will grace Kamima with my august presence. The next Kamima takes place in this winter. We'll all be there, as if none of this ever happened. All of us, laughing and smiling together. Just imagine a future like that.
Wow, that's gonna be tough. But it sounds really fun too. Besides, I think Chris Chan secretly wants to cosplay. So there's hope. Mayushi's gonna do her best.
We arrive at the lab. I look up at the second floor, but there's no light in the window. Oddly enough, there's nobody here today. I've got a bad feeling about this. Is Moika gonna ambush us? On the previous world line, I forgave Moika and Tennoji. But that has already been undone. We still haven't had that conversation in this timeline with Moika about the time leaps. This is a new world line. The Rounders are still alive, and they're still after the time leap machine. Wait here, Mayuri. I motioned for her to sit and wait on the bench in front. Then I carefully checked the area. I know my efforts are likely futile, but still, I want to do anything I can. Anything to give Mayuri a chance, however small, of surviving on this world line. Something tells me it would be foolish to go straight up to the lab. So first, I decided to check the street for any suspicious people. I walked down the street towards Kuramebashi Dori, careful to always keep Mayuri in sight. Suddenly, a white station wagon parked at the end of the street, fires its engine, and takes off in our direction. Please no. What? I can see clearly through the front window. The man in the driver's seat is unfamiliar. Okay, well, at the very least, it's not Moika or like Tennoji or someone. But please don't. But I have seen that station wagon before. It's the same one Moika used to run us over on a previous world line. Ugh. The same one Tennoji used to transport the IBN 5100. And now, it's bearing down on me at full speed. I'm in the center of the road. There's nowhere to run. The station wagon flips on its high beams, intentionally turning my vision white. I can't move. It's all happening too fast. I expected an ambush inside the lab. Instead, I'm facing a charging car. What do I do? I'm fine. I won't die. This world line hasn't approved that fate. No, wait. What day is it? This is the first time I've made it to the 17th. Does that mean my death is still undecided? Will I die in Mayuri's place? If that'll save her, if that'll end this, then maybe it's for the best. No. I don't want to die yet. Two contradictory emotions collide in my mind. My body doesn't know which way to turn. Will I be the one to die?
Ocarine!
No! No! Something slams into my back. Mayuri. Why? I open my eyes. I'm lying on the side of the road. My whole body hurts, but I don't appear to be seriously injured. Someone saved me? I look up to see the station wagon's taillights disappearing around the corner. And there, lying in the center of the road, is Mayuri. Mayuri! I run to her side. Mayuri is bleeding from the head. The pavement is slick with blood. Did she protect me? But that's not what I wanted. Ugh. I lift her body up in my arms. Her eyes twitch, then slowly open.
Oh, Kari.
Mayuri, I'm sorry. It's my fault. Her hand wanders, as if seeking something. It reaches for the starry sky. Her eyelids are heavy. They could close at any second now. But still, she looks straight into my eyes. And for some reason, she smiles.
Finally. Mayushi was useful to Ocarine.
What? Stardust's handshake. Her delicate fingers grasp at the sky. But all they find is empty air. Her arm goes limp. I grab her hand before it hits the ground. Gosh dang it, Brent. What? She died! Mayuri's no longer breathing. I've seen her die countless times. But this time, it's too much. This time, it's all my fault. I embrace Mayuri's tattered body. Her lifeless, motionless, tattered body. I clench my jaw and bite back my tears. Mayuri, you can't see the stars from here. How could this happen? Why'd she have to die like this? What possible meaning could this death have? Yeah, it happened because fate demanded it. Yes, your death is unavoidable. The result upon which this world line converges. I knew from the beginning that this would happen. But I never imagined that she would die saving me, and with a smile on her face. What do you mean you were finally useful? Tell me, Mayuri. There's no future for Mayuri on this world line. And that brings me once again to the choice. Do I return to the Beta world line, killing Kurisu? Or do I leave things as they are and accept Mayuri's death? I can't run away. I'm the one who twisted fate. I'm the one who must decide. How far back we going? 2 days? Alright. Gosh dang it. Sky is blue. I'm on the roof of Radicon after going back 56 hours with 2 time leaps. I lean against the wire fence and stretch out my legs as I look at the sky. I wanted more time to think. That's why I came back. Last time I spent 2 days refusing to face reality. But that's no longer an option, now that I've confirmed Mayuri's death. This time I need to reach a decision. But how? This equation has no solution. No matter what choice I make, someone dies. From a purely utilitarian viewpoint, I should choose the Beta world line, where CERN never creates a dystopia. But it's not that simple. Not for me. Well, I mean, there goes my suggestion. Then, there must be some other way. According to Suzuha, 2010 is a point of great divergence at the attractor field level. I think that divergence has already commenced by the time I sent the email reporting Kurisu's death. So when did divergence begin? I can't say for sure, but I think it was the moment we completed the phone wave, named Subject to Change. That was around the middle of July. Dado and I deemed it a failure right after the completion. By the time Kurisu was killed, there was already a huge divergence at the attractor field level. Now that I think about it, reading Steiner activated that day, when I sent that email that started it all. At that moment, every pedestrian and the vehicle on the main street of Akibas suddenly vanished. That feels so long ago. Now I can finally explain it. That was the moment I moved to the Alpha World line. On the Beta World line, where this all began, Suzuha didn't arrive in her time machine. Dr. Nakabachi's conference went ahead as planned, and the flow of tourists and shoppers through Akiba was unimpeded. But when I sent the email, events changed on a huge scale, from my perspective at least. On the current world line, Suzuha crashed her time machine into the roof of Radicon. Nakabachi's presentation was cancelled, and this part of Akiba was closed to traffic. Because I was out on the street when the world line changed, it appeared to me as if thousands of people suddenly vanished. The truth is that they were never there to begin with. Like a magician's trick. is so obvious once you understand how it works. The real problem is the timing of the email. I moved to the Alpha World line after Kurisu died. If I had sent that email before she died, then I might have been able to intervene, even now on this world line. But no, that would defy causality. I sent that email because I saw Kurisu's body. That's the way it has to be. Who killed her anyway? I still don't know. Definitely wasn't suicide. What if I identify the murderer and send them a email warning them off? Would that prevent her death? No. I mean, no one has tried to kill her on this world line, have they? Maybe there's a chance. However, to send that email, I would first have to remove to the Beta World line. The more I think about it, the more futile it seems. I've already seen Mayuri die countless times. Everything I tried to prevent it failed. I understand all too well. When fate wants someone dead, nothing can stop it. I can't save Kurisu.
There you are.
I thought I was alone, but it seems I was wrong. I turn around to see Kurisu standing in the open door. I avert my eyes. I can't look her in the face, not now.
What are you doing here?
Nothing. How'd you know I was here?
You said you wanted to be alone. So I ran the numbers and concluded that I had the greatest probability of finding you here.
Then leave me alone. You don't have to look for me, I'm not a lost little boy.
Hey, is that how you treat someone who's worried about you? Not that I'm worried about you or anything.
Okay. Okay, Kurisu. That's how you're gonna play this. That's how you're gonna treat someone who's worried about you. Not that I'm worried about you or anything. Right after she gets herself flustered, Kurisu sighs and puts on a serious expression.
I was gonna leave you alone at first. But you've been acting weird the last couple of days. I mean, you're always weird, but more than usual. You look like a kid forced to eat crappy oatmeal. What happened?
Nothing.
Then why did you cancel the cracking of CERN?
You're the one who said we shouldn't.
Oh. See, you're afraid of triggering arrest flags. I get it.
You should praise me for obeying the law for a change.
That's not like you at all. What happened to your ego? What happened to the insane mad scientist home and kill?
To heck with my ego. This time it's not that simple. I've forced my ego on others before. Suzuha, Fades, Lukaku. I sacrificed their dreams for the sake of my goal. I justified it by telling myself that it was necessary to save Mayuri. I weighed their suffering against the alternative and made my self-righteous choice. But this time, the alternatives are impossible to compare. I have to choose which friend to let die. It'd be so much easier if I knew what was right.
Which friend to let die? What are you talking about?
I'm just a student, Christina, you know? Insane mad scientist Hoenn Kiyoma? It's just a fantasy. A character I made up. I bet you had no idea.
I may have figured that out when we first met.
When we first met? What if I hadn't found Kurisu's body back then? Let's try imagining that situation. If I hadn't seen Kurisu dead, I wouldn't have interrogated her before the seminar at ATF. Without hearing me call her a zombie, she wouldn't have taken an interest in me. She wouldn't have come to the lab. Ultimately, she would have never built a timing machine, leaving me without the means to save Mayuri. And of course, Kurisu would not have become our friend. We would not be as close as we are right now.
Tell me, Okabe. What do you mean?
I can't meet her questioning gaze. Do I have to tell you?
Never hesitate to ask. You never hesitated to ask me for help before. Don't hold back now. That's not what this is about.
Then prepare yourself. What I'm about to tell you is the absolute truth. And it could also be your death sentence.
Eh?
Kirisu's voice cracks a little. Remember what I told you before? When we delete the D-mail from CERN's database, we'll reach the Beta World line, where Mayuri doesn't die.
And where CERN doesn't take over the world, right? Everyone lives, everyone's free. You made it sound perfect.
Perfect? It's anything but. I showed you the first email, didn't I? The one that started it all? On the Beta World line, the events described in that email actually happened. Kirisu's a genius. I have no doubt that she understands. Kirisu, on the Beta World line, you die on July 28th. And according to the attractor field model, nothing can prevent that from happening. If I want to save Mayuri, I have no choice but to let you die. Kirisu says nothing. What expression is she making now? I reluctantly sneak a look at her face. She's staring out across the cityscape. Her eyes look distant. I see neither fear nor sadness in her face. She seems accepting. Kirisu's always like this. Always calm, no matter what. It's hard to believe that she's younger than me. Her soft chestnut hair blows in the wind. She lifts a hand to hold it down.
Hey, Okabe. How credible do you find this attractor field model?
Credible?
It's all secondhand info from John Titor. From Amane-san, isn't it? I get that it's the accepted model in 2036. But how exactly did scientists prove the existence of attractor fields?
You gonna try to say the model might be wrong? Well, but I know for certain that convergence exists. I've experienced it firsthand.
Even if they're right about convergence, what about the relationship between world lines?
The moment I change world lines, everything is reconstructed. Past, present, and future.
But that's just from your perspective, Okabe. Once you go to the Beta World line, the me that your brain perceives will die. In other words, your perspective has chosen the world line where I die instead of the one where I don't. However, why can't the world your brain perceives be different from the world my brain perceives?
Brains. I forgot her specialty was neuroscience. So you're saying world lines are independent?
Like trains, maybe.
Trains?
Let me give you an easy example.
Kirisu takes out her phone and starts fiddling with it.
If I want to take the train from Akiba to Yokohama, which route should I use?
I didn't know you were a rail fan. Short for railroad fanatic. An otaku with an interest in trains.
It's just an example. Jeez. You choose to take the Yamanori line to Tokyo Station, then transfer to the Tokaido main line for the rest of your trip.
Kirisu keeps talking as she looks at her phone, apparently reading off an itinerary.
But I take the Yamanori line to Osaki, then transfer to the Shonan Shinjuku line. Another person, say Hashida-san, might decide to take the Keihin Toko line for some reason. And Mayuri might ride the Shinkansen from Tokyo. You and I ride the same train until Tokyo Station, but from there, you ride different lines, while still aiming for the same destination.
And that applies to the universe? You're claiming the existence of parallel worlds?
I'd like to use my imagination too sometimes. But where's the proof that there's only one world?
Suzuha said so. And then there's reading Steiner.
In other words, an unknown time traveler and your unexplainable superpower.
But we knew Suzuha.
There's no way to prove that she was Hashida's daughter. Or anything she said about 2036 either. Not without going there ourselves. And if reading Steiner is what you say, then it means that your subjective experience influences the memories of every single human being. That's completely absurd, Okabe. If it's true, then you're literally a god. But there are no gods in reality. The world doesn't revolve around you. It's just your brain, making you believe that it does. If that makes you this world's god, then I must be a god too. My brain is just as big as yours.
What are you trying to say?
Let's say you chose the world line where I die. That doesn't mean I have to do the same. It doesn't mean I have to do the same. The fact is that I'm standing here right now, observing the world with my own subjectivity. I already exist on a world line where I don't die. Even if your perspective shifts to the beta world line, my perspective will remain here, might remain here. It's a question of where the soul lies. And I want you to have your way with my soul.
No true scientist would accept a hypothesis that flimsy.
But there's a chance I'm right. So you have nothing to worry about.
Kurisu smiles. How can she smile? I just told her that she's gonna die.
The problem is that you don't want me to die. You don't want to let me die, right? But if my hypothesis is correct, I'll still be alive on another possible world line. So there's no reason to be afraid.
It's just a hypothesis.
Same is true of attractor fields. It hasn't been proven. Even if someone did prove it by 2038, that doesn't help us here in the present. In other words, anything is possible.
Jisoo turns her back to me after finishing. It's an armchair theory. A daring armchair theory that could quite possibly render meaningless everything I've done up to now. How can Kurisu stay so calm? She's just an 18-year-old girl.
You really don't have to worry about me, Okabe. It would just hurt my pride if you did.
Don't say it like that. Hello?
Ah.
Mayuri?
Yeah.
Displayed on the screen is Mayuri's face, devoid of its usual brightness for some reason. What's wrong?
I heard from Daru-kun that Okarin's been acting kinda strange. Mayushi was so preoccupied with Kamuma, she didn't really notice. Even though she usually notices right away when Okarin's not happy. I'm sorry, Okarin.
Don't apologize. You've done nothing wrong.
Did something happen? Okarin?
Can't tell her. I can't. I've kept it a secret from her all this time. That's the way it has to be. There's nothing wrong.
Oh. You know, you used to talk to Mayushi about a lot of things, remember? Like, the organization's 4 leaders. Their names are Back Turkish, Finnegan Burp, Balloon Drag Queen, and Wide Eye Gore, right?
Black Tortoise, Vermilion Bird, Blue Dragon, and White Tiger.
Yeah, that. You know, it was really fun talking to Okarin about stuff like that. But now, Okarin, if Mayushi's a burden, just say so, okay?
What? I never...
I'm hanging up now. If you feel like talking to Mayushi about anything, just call, okay? Doo-doo-doo.
She hung up on me.
What did Mayuri say?
How are you a burden? How are you a burden? Don't say things like that, dang it. Why is she only serious at times like these?
A burden, huh? I've never felt Mayuri was a I've never felt Mayuri was a burden. Not once. Then you should tell her that. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to leave Mayuri in the dark. She never looks like she's thinking anything, and yet she saw my doubt? Either way, I can't tell her the truth. Wakabe. Jisoo sighs, then glares at me. Yoji wouldn't have worried about anything. Anyway, you should go see Mayuri. I'm sure she has a lot to say. She's right. Even if I don't tell Mayuri the truth, I need to at least tell her something. I'll postpone my decision. Go see Mayuri. It's afternoon on the first day of Kamima, and the crowds are finally beginning to thin out. Of course, the industry booths and cosplay area are still packed, but at least I don't have to wait in line to get in. I've been trying to get in touch with Mayuri for a while now, but she hasn't responded. I checked with Daru, but he hasn't seen her today either. Cosplay ends at 4 p.m. I focus on searching the cosplay area until then, but I still can't find her. Maybe she finished early and went home. Try calling her home. No luck. They haven't seen her since she left this morning. Where is she? I'm always afraid that she'll disappear the second I take my eyes off her. It's been like that ever since she lost her grandmother. Maybe it's just my imagination. We've been so close for so long. I saw Mayuri at her weakest and most vulnerable. Maybe that's made me overprotective. But I don't care how other people see us. I just can't leave Mayuri alone. I step into the cemetery. The final resting place of Mayuri's beloved grandmother. When was the last time I came here? For about a year after Mayuri became my hostage, I periodically accompanied her here. But I don't think I've been here since I entered high school. So it's been about 3 or 4 years. As I get closer to Mayuri's grandmother's grave, I begin to hear a voice. It's Mayuri. I'd recognize her voice anywhere. It sounds like she's talking to someone. I approach quietly.
Hey, Granny.
Mayuri is standing there, talking to the grave. What a relief. She hasn't disappeared. I decide to watch silently from a short distance away.
I've been having scary dreams lately.
For a second, I wonder if she's learned to commute with the dead. But no, she's just talking to herself.
My dreams. Bad things keep happening to me. Like someone shoots me, or a car hits me, or I get run over by a train.
What? Don't tell me.
It's so real. It hurts so much and I feel so sad, and I try to call for help, but nothing comes out. What the heck? Why do you think I'm having these dreams? Why do you think I'm having these dreams?
Does she remember her deaths? All of them? Is she inheriting memories like I do?
And you know, they always end the same way. Mayushi's crying, and Okarin comes to save me. Mayushi tries to say thank you, Okarin, but Okarin can't hear my voice. He holds Mayushi, makes a very sad face like he's gonna cry. But he never does, you know. I can tell he's forcing himself not to cry.
Come to think of it. Both Fadis and Lukaku remember their memories from before the past changed. I used to think that memories couldn't be shared between world lines. I used to think that I was the exception, with reading Steiner. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe everyone has the same power, and the only difference is how strong it is. Maybe reading Steiner is nothing special after all.
That makes Mayushi even more sad. I try to say sorry, but he still can't hear. That's when I wake up. Why am I having these dreams?
I failed so many times to save her. I watched her die again and again.
Everything I've done is to prevent that from happening. And yet, have the memories of those deaths been tormenting her as she sleeps? I bite my lip in frustration. I still have a terrible decision to make. Do I save Mayuri? Or do I save Kurisu? There's no perfect ending here. I can't save them both. It's one or the other. If I choose Kurisu, then Mayuri's dreams will become reality. I don't want Mayuri to feel any pain. Until now, I've thought only of saving her. That is my goal. But at the same time, I can't let Kurisu die. Again, my thoughts hit the same dead end. Mayuri hasn't noticed me yet. She's still staring at the sky, just as she was on the day I took her hostage. She's talking to her grandmother in heaven.
Oh, right. We have a lot more lab members now, you know? There's Chris-chan, Moeka-san, Luka-kun, and Feiris-chan. There's also Suzu-san, but she moved away. That makes 8 of us. It's really amazing.
On this world line, they all became lab mems. However, not a single one of them is sent to D-mail.
You know, it was just Okarin and Mayoshi at first. Back then, Okarin seemed kind of bored most of the time. But now he's having so much fun.
Is that how she sees it? Well, she's not wrong. She really does know me, doesn't she?
And that makes Mayushi happy too. It's so busy, but it's really exciting. Especially now that Chris-chan is here. She's really smart, you know. She's got a paper published in a famous magazine. Mayushi really admires her. She even made a time machine. Oh, but can't forget Okarin and Daru-kun helped too.
Then Mayuri falls silent. Gaze becomes distant. She stands still and looks up to the sky. Hey, Sage. What could she be thinking?
But you know, sometimes I remember back when it was just the 2 of us. Back when it was just the 2 of us. When Mayushi had only just become Okarin's hostage. I'd go to the lab after school, but Okarin wouldn't be there, so I'd tidy up the room and decorate it with cute things. Then Okarin would finally show up a little later. Mayushi would say, "Welcome back." But instead of saying, "I'm back," Okarin would say, "Good work," like a big boss or something. Every day, we'd spend a few hours just hanging out, doing nothing, and then we'd go home together. We didn't talk much, but it wasn't bad. We were just there, together, you know? We'd sit next to each other on the sofa. Okarin would work on his big plans, and Mayushi would read manga or play games. And sometimes we'd have a snack together. It was so nice and relaxing. I never wanted to leave. I'd start feeling like a real hostage. And I'd laugh, to myself. Then Okarin would turn to me and say,
I remember. It was 4 months ago. Still spring. The lab wasn't as lively as it is now. It was an isolated bubble of slow-moving time. Something good happen?
"Yep. Well, not really, but kinda."
Ah, it must have been an illusion. Could be under attack from illusion conductor, or one of the organization's feared agents.
"Oh, gotta be careful then. But you know, I'm sure that Mr. Illusion and Kid Hugger..."
Conductor, not Kid Hugger.
"I'm sure he's not a bad guy."
It was nothing. Just meaningless chatter to pass the time.
I felt so happy there. So happy I could cry. I wanted to stay like that forever. But that doesn't mean I don't like how things are now, okay?
Coyote shakes her head in denial. Finally, she stops looking at the sky and bows her head instead.
You know, I haven't talked to Okarin much lately. Maybe Mayushi's getting a little lonely.
It's true. I haven't had time to talk to her lately. But that's because I've been fighting to prevent her death. To keep her dreams from coming true. Also that Mayuri will keep smiling. I never want to see her cry like she did on the day her grandmother died.
But you know, I don't want to be a burden on Okarin.
That word again. Burden. I've never thought of her as a burden.
Mayushi's just one big nuisance, isn't she? Granny?
Mayuri lifts her face once more.
I can't stay like this forever, can I?
Of course you can!
Huh?
When I finally speak to Mayuri, she turns my way with a surprised expression. Her face is so soft, so innocent. Slowly, her lips curve into a smile.
It's Okarin. Wow, how'd you know I was here?
I always know where my hostage is.
Hostage.
You cannot escape my grasp. Not ever.
Oh. But don't wear yourself out, okay? Mayushi's a little worried.
Oh, and Kyoma is not so weak as to require your concern. When the time comes, I'll tell you everything.
Huh?
So stay with me until then, like you always have.
Okay.
Mayuri stands up and turns to the grave once more. As an offering, she leaves a brand new white lily, as well as some dango dumplings.
Let's head back, Okarin.
Shouldn't we get some dango for ourselves first? Back when we used to visit the cemetery together, it was part of our daily routine to eat dango on the way back.
Of course.
Or is it dongo? I don't know. It might be dongo. Akiba is empty again today. Dango. Akiba is empty again today. The otaku have all made the exodus to Kamima for the second day of battle. But come nightfall, they will return to Akiba like a victorious army laden with spoils, and the streets will be chaos. I know Daru has gone to Kamima. The question is, has Mayuri? I hope she has. I want things to be normal again. I remember what I heard yesterday. The feelings Mayuri expressed at her grandmother's grave. The events of the last few weeks have affected her as well. After I escorted Mayuri home from the cemetery, I spent the whole night racking my brain for a third option. A way out of this mess. My thoughts were a jumble. Ideas coming and going too fast to judge which were right and which were wrong. But of course, there isn't a right choice here. For in the end, it always comes back to the same question. Who do I let die? And no matter how I try to dance around it, the answer is always the same. I can't choose. Is there no one else who can make this decision? No. Even if there were, I know I'd never accept their choice, whichever it happened to be. Once again, I'm heading for the roof of Radicon. I had to get out of the lab. Mayuri and Kurisu might return at any moment, and I can't face them now. Just pull the Fades ending strat, go to the Omega attractor field. No. I want to also keep my relationships. I look up at the sky. The clouds are dark and heavy. It could start raining any minute now. I thought that I was alone, but someone was here before me. Kurisu was lying in the middle of the roof, arms and legs spread as if making a snow angel. image of Kurisu in a pool of blood flashes through my mind. Is she alright? I run towards her, but before I make it halfway, she suddenly sits up and turns to face me. Okabe. You're alive. What a dumb thing to say. Fortunately, it looks like Kurisu didn't hear me. She's busy combing her disheveled hair with her fingers. I breathe a silent sigh of relief. Right. I forgot I might run into you here. What were you doing? Thinking. Oh. Was she thinking about her death? I don't know what to say, so I keep my mouth shut. Kurisu appears to be in the same boat. She's staring at the capsule toy dispenser in the corner, her face wearing the usual frown. The awkward silence drags on. When you think about it, Kurisu's fate rests in my hands. My decision will determine whether she lives or dies. Her fantastic hypothesis yesterday was a desperate attempt to construct a scenario where she doesn't die. Even if she believes that her theory is correct, it must be difficult for her to avoid imagining her own death. I force a smile. I'm getting really uncomfortable here. Looks like I'm in your way, so I'll just go.
Oh, okay.
Dang. I was expecting a sarcastic remark like, since when do mad scientists have manners or something? Just then, something cold lands on the tip of my nose. When I look up, raindrops start landing on my forehead. An evening shower. It's only going to get more intense, and quickly. Kurisu hasn't moved a muscle. She's just standing there with her arms folded, staring at the ground as if she doesn't notice the rain at all. You made it, Carson. Nice. Hey, it's raining. Huh? Oh, yeah. She's acting strange, like her mind is elsewhere. I knew it. She's been thinking about... Whoa! In less than a minute, the rain turns into a full downpour. Yeah. It's raining outside. Yeah, mostly what you missed so far is just, thinking about the whole thing about if I go back to the Beta World line, Kurisu will die, but Mayuri will stay alive. But if I stay here, Mayuri will die, but Kurisu will stay alive. So it's just like been a lot about that. There was a scene with Mayuri at her grandmother's grave, just talking to herself. Yeah, TLDR, more anguish. I'm just trying to briefly explain it a bit. Pretty expected, yeah. And then we also had another scene where Mayuri died. Oops. I pressed the force skip button. In less than a minute, the rain turns into a full downpour. We had no time to seek shelter. What the heck? Kurisu's scream is drowned out by the roar of the rain. They cover most of that in the anime. I assumed so, but just letting you know in case you forget.
Ooh, what a surprise.
That's what you get for tempting the sky gods. This is like this is the room where you first have like an actual conversation with Kurisu on the Beta World line. You first meet her upstairs, but this is the first room you actually have a conversation with her. Oh yeah, Mayuri thinks she has a burden on Okabe. That's what you get for tempting the sky gods. Now safely inside the building, we take a moment to catch our breath. It's been a week since Suzuha's time machine disappeared, but Radicon is still closed. The lights are off, and it's pretty dark inside.
Should have warned me sooner. Even my underwear is soaked.
Same here. Bet you're glad it's dark, huh?
What do you mean?
If the lights are on, I'd be able to see everything. Even in the dim light, I can tell that Kurisu is scrambling to cover her chest.
Ugh. I forgot that you're a perv too.
You're the one who announced that your underwear was wet.
Just drop it. If you're imagining what color my underwear is, I'll kill you.
I'm not imagining anything. She's too self-conscious. But the color of her underwear, huh? Gotta be white. Ugh. Cold?
I'm not stripping naked if that's what you're suggesting. Your pervy chicks won't work on me.
Who said strip? Calm down, will ya? But if you want to strip, go right ahead. I can't make out your scrawny figure in this light anyway.
Another word and I'll make you eat your cereal... Wait, what? Another word and I'll make you eat your cerebral neocortex with ponzu sauce.
Sorry. Please spare me that horror. Still, these wisecracks are a welcome distraction. Cerebral neocortex, is that in this? Just checking. Nope.
Storm like that shouldn't last long. Guess we'll just wait it out.
I see Kirisu's shadowy figure move. Shadowy form move to sit on the staircase. I sit next to her.
Hey, get your own stair. What?
You're the one who said not to speak.
You're too close. Don't come any closer, okay? You can stay where you are, but come any closer and I'll push you away, okay?
Our bodies gradually go cold. We start shivering. Maybe I should take off my wet clothes. But if I do that, Kirisu will just call me a perv again. Better not. My eyes gradually adjust to the darkness. I can see Kirisu more clearly now. She's huddled up against the wall.
Don't look at me.
Impossible. How can you see where I'm looking? Does she have infravision?
So you were looking.
Dang. She used leading question on me. That's such a high-level technique. I avert my eyes from Kirisu and take off my lab coat. That's when I notice my coat is torn at the shoulder. Dang. Must have caught on something when we ran inside.
What are you talking about?
Just a little tear in my coat.
Is clumsiness one of your character traits?
Kirisu knows how to spend her skill points. Don't be ridiculous. I'm a mad scientist. I bear the curse of insanity, not clumsiness. Seems like forever since I've talked to Kirisu as Ho and Kyoma.
Yeah.
Kirisu suddenly holds out her hand.
Give it here.
What?
I happen to have a sewing kit with me. I'll stitch it up for you.
Where on you? A sewing kit? You?
Something wrong with that?
I hand over my coat as asked. You're an experiment-loving girl. You're not supposed to be domestic.
Can't I be a domestic experiment-loving girl?
You? Domestic?
Relatively, maybe. Well, actually, I don't know the domesticity index for Japanese high school girls these days.
She got it from Monokuma. Rose. There's an index for that. First I've heard of it. Kirisu skillfully threads the needle, despite the darkness.
It's wet, so it's kind of hard to thread.
Did you really just happen to have that on you?
Get over it already. Is it really so wrong for me to have a sewing kit?
It's not wrong, it just seems like you planned for this. Monokuma Monka S. Yes, Sage, B just got to the first death today. Or the first investigation, so technically 2 deaths. So no spoilers. Be ye. Yeah, that's be ye. Person in chat. B thinks he can watch Tanner's stream to escape Danganronpa. Amateur. Yeah, so just no spoilers. Just making sure you knew that. It's not wrong, it just seems like you planned for this. So you're saying I brought it with me because I somehow knew your coat was gonna get ripped? Uh-huh. Ridiculous. Maybe she time leaped. You know, you never think of that, did you, Okabe? Before you get the wrong idea, I'm not fixing your coat because I want to or anything, okay? Nice tsundere line. Don't mock me. You just happen to tear your clothes, and I just happen to have a sewing kit handy when you did. It's coincidence. That's all. Seg! No! Someone ban him, please. Monokuma is black and white. But what about his red eye? I mean, he's actually white and black. Got him. Coincidence. Red eye? Yo, it's King K. Rool. Ugh. Hey. You didn't time leap, did you? So now you're saying that I went back in time for the sole purpose of repairing your stupid lab coat. Uh-huh. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. There. Is it so important that I said it twice? It's so important I said it twice. Comprende? You're right. If you had time leaped, you would have brought a towel, not a sewing kit. What's that, sarcasm? All you do is complain. After working for a while, Kurisu cuts the string with her teeth, then hands me back my coat. Here. Thanks. By the way, it was dark so I couldn't really see. If it turns out bad, it's not my fault. It was dark, that's all. Quality of this game isn't the events in the plot. What is it then? It's what the characters meme about. It's that the characters meme about them. Ugh. Oh, and I hope you like the color because I have no idea which thread I used. It's random. Black, red, or pink. Those are 3 possibilities. Let's just hope it's not pink. What do you have against pink, Okabe? Pink's great. You're not wrong, Brent. Pink is the best color. Achoo! Achoo! Cold? I guess. Take my coat. It's wet. Well, yeah, but... Silence again. The words flow so naturally that when it's just harmless banter, but 1 second of silence and suddenly we have nothing to say. It must be because of what happened yesterday. I'm so desperate to avoid the topic that nothing seems safe. I know I need to say something, but what? Have you made your decision yet? Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can hear her clearly in the silence of this empty stairwell. I look at Kurisu. She's hugging her knees to her chest, presumably against the cold. My decision. I know what she means. That's why I can't answer. You still haven't made up your mind? You still haven't made up your mind? You like Mayuri, don't you? What? Where did that come from? Kurisu keeps staring into the darkness. It's probably just my imagination, but lately I've been seeing things. Like a strange sort of deja vu. In these visions, you're fighting to save Mayuri all by yourself. You never give up, no matter how much it hurts. Kurisu too? Then you come to me for help. You're so desperate, so earnest, that I just have to do what I can. Not that I'm doing it for you, okay? I just want to save Mayuri, that's all. Anyway, these images are stuck in my head like memories. So Kurisu's the same. She still has faint memories from previous world lines. I tried self-analysis. Maybe I'm mistaking dreams for reality, projecting my hopes and fantasies. I don't know.
But there's one thing I do know. You have to save Mayuri.
Aren't you afraid? To save Mayuri, I must undo the current world line. If I do that, Kurisu will die.
You know, it kind of feels like we're trapped in an ancient ruin.
Kurisu suddenly changes the topic. She looks around the dark, empty stairwell.
Like the world ended. Like the world ended. And we're the only two people left. I've been thinking. Say you go to the beta world line, and everything else goes with you. What if I can't go with you? What if I'm the only one left behind? Will the entire world become like this place? It's just a theory, but I can't help but wonder.
I need to say it. I'll save you. Not just Mayuri, but...
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Jisoo cuts me off sharply, then buries her face in her knees.
You asked me if I wasn't afraid. Of course I'm afraid. Of course I'm afraid. Maybe I'll disappear. Maybe I'll be left behind all alone. Maybe only you will disappear and everything else will stay the same. The world will continue, and nobody will even know that you existed. I'll go back to America as if nothing ever happened. Maybe. I feel hopeless, just thinking about all the possibilities. But even so...
Kurisu raises her head and spears me with her glare.
You think I would tell you to let Mayuri die?
Kurisu.
Jeez, it's cold.
Kurisu grabs her own arms. In the darkness, I see her shoulders shaking.
It's because of these wet clothes. This sucks. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. There's something about conjecture. Baseless. Worthless. I want to cut open my skull and excise the part of my brain that comes up with these delusions.
Now she's talking to herself in an angry tone. Kurisu has always been calm when faced with the unknown. I admired her for that. I thought that she was facing this calmly too. But I was wrong. Behind her cool facade, she was struggling to cope with the knowledge that her very existence was in jeopardy. She was fighting that fear all alone, and now it has finally come to the surface. Of course she's afraid. However brilliant she may be, she's still just an 18-year-old girl. Kurisu abruptly stands up. I realize that I no longer hear the sound of a rain pounding on the roof.
Listen, Okabe. You can't save both of us, correct? No matter how you struggle, it's one or the other.
But...
No buts. My answer won't change. Save Mayuri.
I hear the pain in her voice, and also the resolve. Kurisu has made up her mind. I look away and clench my fists. My nails dig into the palms of my hands. Are you telling me to give up? To abandon you? I can never do that.
You can and you must. There's no other way.
No. You're a friend. I won't abandon you.
Okabe!
Jisoo drops to her knees and grabs me by the collar. I gasp for breath as she stares into my eyes. Her eyes are hard and stern. It's always like this when she scolds me. Always the same glare.
Is there another solution? There is, isn't there? I want to live if it means sacrificing Mayuri. I don't want to live if it means sacrificing Mayuri.
I read that wrong, and it was completely different from what it actually says.
I don't want to live if it means sacrificing Mayuri. If you don't save her, I'll never forgive you.
Gah. This can't be happening. I hate this choice with no right answer. I hate the universe for being so cruel. And most of all, I hate myself for forcing Kurisu to speak these words when she's the one with the most to lose. Tears well up in my eyes, but I bite my lip and hold them back. Is there really no other way? I can't bear it. I look straight back at Kurisu as she holds me by the collar.
Eh?
And tightly embrace her slender body. Her clothes are still wet from the rain, but all I feel is warmth radiating from the core of her being. But you're right here. Why does it have to be this way?
Okabe.
Tension drains from her back and her hands. She gives her whole body to my embrace.
Thank you. I know you're hurting for me. But you've done enough. I'm fine, so just think about Mayuri, okay?
Despite her fear, Shirisu has made her choice. It's time for me to do the same. I need to decide here and now. The future of the world. Which friend to let die? Holding Shirisu tightly, I whisper into her ear. I won't give up. Ever. Shirisu suddenly pushes me away. She steps back. Her face is hidden behind her hair. But her fists are trembling. Her body exudes raw fury.
This is ridiculous. You... jerk.
Whoa. Whoa, you using that language, Kurisu? You jerk? I see how it is.
I said I was fine. What do you mean you won't give up? Are you stupid? You wanna die?
Jerk.
And you keep trying to be a hero. You keep trying to be a hero. You trying to be a whack job. Don't make promises you can't keep.
Such vulgarity.
Your stupidity is infuriating. Why can't you just do as I say? What's the problem, huh? If you weigh the options logically, saving Mayuri is the only...
Screw logic. Kisu stares at me in shock. I'm not God. Maybe I got close, but that's not me. I can't decide who lives and who dies anymore. Suzuha, Fades, Lukako. I sacrificed their happiness to save Mayuri. And the whole time, a voice in the back of my head was asking, is this really okay? What gives me the right? This time I want to save both of them, without sacrificing anyone. Kurisu turns away with a frown, then starts tapping her foot in a clear gesture of displeasure.
There's nothing you can do. It's the choice of Steins Gate. Isn't that what you always say? The equation is proven, Okabe. There's no escape. You're just one man. No matter how hard you try, you can't overcome the will of the universe.
I know, but I'm still gonna try. I won't lose Mayuri or Kurisu. I hear Kurisu grinding her teeth. Then she turns back to me. She turns her back to me.
Have it your way. But I'm not helping. I'm going back to America, and that's that. Goodbye. I don't expect we'll meet again, Ho and Kyoma. I can't believe this. How stupid can you be? You're so stupid. Baka!
Kurisu disappears down the stairs, muttering insults until I can no longer hear her. Now alone, I sigh into the darkness. Kurisu is absolutely right. I can't think of a single way to save them both. I'm a fool. And yet, I have to try. But this time, I won't have Kurisu's help. I have to fight the universe alone. How do I save both Kurisu and Mayuri? I can't use D-mail. Too much could go wrong. I don't want to make the same mistakes again. In the end, all I can do is time leap. Time leaping can't save Mayuri, but at least it can delay her death. Give me time to find a solution. On this world line, Mayuri dies at 7:30 on the night of August 17th. There's about 26 hours from now. That's about 26 hours from now. My battle has no end in sight. If only Suzuha were here. I could have asked her for advice. But even alone, I must find a way. So resolved, I start time leaping again to save Mayuri. I've done this before. When Mayuri died at the first time at Moika's hands, I tried time leaping to prevent her death. But I only tried running away that time. This time, I try every approach I can think of. I try hiring bodyguards to protect Mayuri. I try taking Mayuri to South America, an entire world away from Japan. I try crippling CERN with attacks on their servers. The ones that don't need the IBN 5100. I try getting Mayuri admitted to a hospital. It's hard given Mayuri's perfect health, but I manage. My goal is to keep her from dying by heart attack. I try everything I can possibly imagine. However, every plan fails. Mayuri dies again and again and again. Sometimes it's murder, sometimes an accident. But every time I leap, Mayuri dies. Maybe it really is impossible to resist fate. As long as I remain on this world line, Mayuri can't be saved. Fate will kill her every time. From Mayuri's perspective, she only dies once. But I've seen her die dozens of times. All because of me. And yet, it no longer affects me as it used to. Little by little, I've grown desensitized to her death. In the beginning, I felt unbearable pain every time I saw her die, and murderous rage towards the ones responsible. Now I feel nothing. The realization stuns me. After dozens of leaps, I finally realize what should have been obvious from the beginning. I never leaped back more than 26 hours. Why? I could go back as far as August 11th. One whole week in the past. Yet I never do. Why? Because I know that even if I do, nothing will change. I don't believe that anything will change. Every time Mayuri dies, I find myself thinking, another failure, what went wrong this time? I calmly analyze Mayuri's death, then take my data and head for the time machine with a sigh. Like a gamer forced for the umpteenth time to restart a particularly difficult stage. I'm just going through the motions. I didn't even realize until this moment how routine it all became. Now that I have, my actions suddenly seem meaningless. I could be playing Bashi over there, fighting against Solgren. I can't take another step. And that's how I find myself here, sitting motionless in front of the timely machine. I've been staring at it for hours. When we got caught in that evening shower on the Radicon rooftop, my clothes got soaked. Now they're completely dry. My body temperature has dropped, but I don't have the energy to warm myself with a shower. I sluggishly get on my feet and pick up the headset. The sight of it fills me with resignation. Resignation. That's all. There's no desperate drive to save Mayuri. No hope that this time I might succeed. Those emotions are long gone. Truth? They've been gone since my argument with Kurisu. Deep down, I always knew that she was right. I pretended not to see it. I told myself that the time machine could solve anything, everything. But that was just an excuse. A last attempt to satisfy my ego. In the end, all I'm doing is running away. I turn around in surprise, and there I see Kurisu standing in the doorway. I thought she never wanted to see me again. Why is she here? Why? Kurisu ignores my question and fixes me with her usual glare. Time leaping is just running away. You don't have to tell me. I already know. I know all too well. In the end, all I'm doing is running away. Running from responsibility. Running from the decision. If I had known I would have to make this choice, then I would have refused Suzuha when she entrusted me with her mission. I've hurt people. Lots of people. Just to save Mayuri. And yet, I don't even feel guilty anymore. I feel like I'm losing my humanity.
Then why are you hesitating now?
Maybe because my insurance, the timely machine, isn't effective. Or maybe I just haven't mastered it yet. Maybe I haven't tapped into its full potential.
Running only makes it hurt more.
She suddenly looks away. Then she leans against the wall and smiles bitterly.
I should know.
Is Kurisu running too? From what?
Look at yourself, Okabe. You look like you look like you've aged a decade. Your heart can't take it anymore. You don't need to beat yourself up like this. Just accept the truth. Like I said, you can't stay here. Go to the Beta World line. Go to the world where Mayuri doesn't die. Not just for your sake, but for mine as well.
She's right. I have no other options left. No more D-mails. No more time leaps. There's no perfect world where both Kurisu and Mayuri live. Maybe there are things I have yet to try, but I'm certain that all of them will end in vain. As long as I stay on this world line, Mayuri will die. And if I go to the Beta World line, Kurisu will die. We'll never be able to talk like this again. It's only been 20 days since we met, and yet, memories of Kurisu flash before my eyes.
Hey, could you not talk about me like that? I'm perfectly fine. Let's say we wanted to make a machine that could physically transport people through time. What would we need? Who the heck's Christina? I never said that. I don't want to deny... Wait. I don't want to deny who I've been. Because even my failures are a part of who I am today. You may have created a monster here. You said I was your friend, remember? You said I was important to you. That made me really happy, I guess. Once we're done upgrading the phone wave, I want you to come with me. I want to be your strength. Thank you. I know you're hurting for me.
So much has happened these past 20 days. We argued, we exchanged insults. We made incredible discoveries together. And when confronted with the implications, we shared our fears. Whenever I hit a dead end in my struggle to save Mayuri, I always turned to Kurisu for help. She always listened. She always believed me. And I helped her too. When she was distraught over her father. We promised to go to Aomori together. I forgot about that. Without this girl genius on our side, we would not have the timely machine. Proud, passionate Makise Kurisu. Always strong, or at least pretending to be. A little nosy too, and serious to a fault. Before I knew it, she had become the center of the lab. From the very beginning, I was attracted to her radiant confidence. I found myself mesmerized by her every gesture, hanging on her every word. I listened enraptured whenever she presented her latest theory. At the end of the day, the reason I never called her by her name was because I was too embarrassed. I admired her, I longed for her, and I didn't want to admit it to myself. Only now do I realize the truth. I love her. And that is why I want so desperately to save her. She's not just a fellow lab member. To me, Kurisu is far more than that. And yet, I have no choice. In the end, everything she said was right. I can't save you. I'm sorry. In a desperate attempt to hold back my tears, I bite my lip tightly. The taste of blood spreads through my mouth. Why does it have to be you? Why? Okay. What was that? I pound my fist on the table. Silence. Nothing moves. Outside the window is only darkness. Is this what it's like to be the only person left in the world?
Hey, Okabe. Once you go to the Beta World line, Mayori and Hashida will forget the time we spent together, right?
Kirisu's cheeks start to redden, and she turns away.
Will you remember me?
Her voice is barely a whisper. Of course I'll remember you. Of course I will. There's no way I could ever forget the girl most important to me.
Eh? You mean... What the heck are you saying?
The truth.
But... proof. I need proof. I can't come up with a formula otherwise.
Kirisu was getting flustered for some reason.
When the anterior pituitary gland hypersecretes ACTH and gamma waves induce stochastic resonance, we can assume an infinite has. What the heck is this sentence? We can assume an infinite Hausdorff dimension for the Hilbert curve.
Okay. I don't even... I refuse to accept that as a word right there. What is that? Adrenocorticotropic hormone. Secreted in response to stress. Doesn't know easy English words. Fight me. What the heck was that? That is the hardest line to read of all time.
That is, we can measure the asymptotic line with positron emission tomography.
Yeah, but Kirisu, I speak your name. Our eyes meet. I love you. Kirisu looks away. Her face is bright red. And you?
Eh? What?
Do you, how do you feel about me?
You wanna know?
Kirisu suddenly looks me straight in the eye. Her face is still red, but her expression is firm. She walks straight up to me, grabs me by the collar, and jerks me towards her.
Close your eyes.
Did I make her mad? Perhaps Kirisu hates me for some reason. Maybe she really did mean all those insults she said to me. That would be really sad. I slowly lick my trembling lips and timidly try to ask a question. Why close my...
Just shut up and close them.
I do as I'm told. Though I still don't know why she's so angry. My collar is still in Kirisu's grip. Abruptly, I feel a soft sensation against my lips. The faint scent of citrus tickles my nose. When I open my eyes in surprise, I see Kirisu's face scant millimeters away. Kirisu. And then I understand what's happened. She's kissing me. Her lips are very warm. My mind goes blank. I'm unable to think. I want to stay like this forever. But soon, our lips separate. Kirisu looks down shyly. What?
It's not like I did it because I wanted to or anything. It's just, you promised that you wouldn't forget about me. Research shows that memories are harder to forget when coupled with intense emotions. You're a virgin and a perv, so I was sure you had a
elaborative rehearsal on your first kiss, instantly making it a long-term memory you'd never forget, so...
In psychology, the act of transferring the act of transferring short-term memory to long-term memory. This is done by attaching meaning to the matter to be remembered, or by relating the matter to some other familiar memory.
I just don't want you to forget about me, Okabe. No matter what.
My heart fills with love for Kurisu as she makes her frantic excuses. What a relief. Kurisu wasn't mad. She was just out trying to hide her embarrassment. I want to be with her even more. I want to talk with her even more. I want to learn even more about her. But I know that wish can never come true. My chest tightens. I feel like I'm suffocating. Desperate to keep my emotions under control, I place my own hands on top of Kurisu's, which are still grabbing my collar. Sorry to disappoint you.
Eh?
That wasn't my first kiss.
Why you... You're just a cherry boy.
Shut up, virgin. I remember playfully kissing Mayuri in elementary school. And just a little while ago, I forcibly kissed Maoika to silence her. But that was on another world line, and so now it never happened. So I guess it doesn't count?
So it wasn't your first?
Right. So it only left a weak impression, probably not enough to become a long-term memory. I'm lying, of course. I've never felt such an intense kiss as that. The shock was like a lightning bolt to the brain. But still, I'm lying. Because if I miss this opportunity, I'll never be able to touch Kurisu again. This is my last chance. So, once more.
What?
Kurisu fidgets. She usually glances at me harshly, but now she's avoiding my eyes. I don't ever want to forget. So let's make doubly sure. I decide to take the initiative. I wrap my arm gently around Kurisu's waist and pull her slender body against mine.
And I guess there's no choice.
Kurisu looks up at me shyly.
Just a kiss, okay?
What is she worried I'll do?
Be gentle, okay?
I run my fingers softly through her hair. Then I slowly bend down.
Okabe.
We're both shy, so we end up pecking at each other's lips like two small birds. Then we draw back and look at each other. Kurisu's eyes are wet. Tears are running down her cheeks. I kiss them away. They're salty. Ugh.
Don't forget me.
Gotta replicate those results. For scientific validity. Press our lips together again. Stronger than the first time. Longer than the first time. I never want to let go. We embrace each other tightly. Our feelings too powerful to contain. Gotta go to bed, Sade. Alright. I'll see ya. Sag. What are you talking about, Brent? We seek each other's warmth again and again. Oh, okay. Locked in our embrace, we feel each other's breath. We feel each other's scent. We feel each other's taste.
It's too fast.
Elaborate memes? Okay. Kurisu's whisper resonates through our embrace.
Time is going by too fast. I could really use a word with Einstein right now. Time is not absolute. Einstein proved that time could be fast or slow, depending on the observer. Hey, Okabe. The theory of relativity is so romantic. And so sad. Don't you think?
How does Kurisu feel about me? In the end, she never really answered my question. Early morning, Akihabara Station. Kurisu standing before the entrance with a huge suitcase behind her. She's going back to America? She waves to me shyly as I approach. Not with words, Carson. Then she blushes and shoots me her usual glare. After that kiss, Kurisu went back to her hotel to pack. That suitcase must hold everything that she brought to Japan. She's going back to America.
Well then?
Are you sure I shouldn't call Mayuri and Daru? She said it wasn't because he wanted to or anything. Pretty clear.
I think that would just make it harder. But you, I have no trouble leaving behind. That was a joke.
Kurisu looks like she's about to cry. I'm sure I look just as sad. But I won't cry. I don't have that right. This is a souvenir. Take it. I hand her future gadget number 2. The bamboo helicam. A CCD camera mounted to a bamboo toy helicopter. The camera is attached to the helicopter's fulcrum, allowing it to record aerial footage unpowered. However, the image is rotating at high speed, so you might get dizzy if you keep looking at it. Name originates from the sci-fi manga 22 Iman. It's a bamboo helicopter equipped with a CCD camera which allows it to record video in the air. A truly groundbreaking invention. Thanks for recapping that. But sadly, due to its constant high-speed rotation, the video it produces tends to cause motion sickness.
No thanks.
Just take it. It's not even that bulky. I wanted to give her future gadget number 7, Ghost in the Ball, but it was too big. A gadget created by arranging 12 6-inch CRT monitors in a sphere. Small CMOS cameras are installed in the gaps between the monitors, each connected to the monitor on the opposite side of the sphere. This attempt at practical optical camouflage is the greatest masterpiece among the completed future gadgets. But its sheer size makes it difficult to store. Its name is derived from the sci-fi manga Ghost in the Husk, which has an anime adaptation. Kurisu accepts the bamboo helicam with a strange smile.
Oh, fine. I guess I'll take it.
And then, silence. No words of farewell. We just look at each other. Sorry I couldn't go with you to Aomori.
Yeah. But these 2 weeks were fun, in their own way. Give my regards to Mayuri and Hashida, okay?
Kurisu spreads her arms wide. Without a moment's hesitation, I step forward and embrace the girl genius one last time.
Hang in there, Okabe.
Stay well. Kurisu smiles faintly, then turns and walks towards the entrance with the suitcase in hand. I watch her go, unable to move a muscle. I want to stop her. I want to wrap my arms around her and tell her to stay with me forever. But I can't. This is what we decided. To save Mayuri. To save the future. I'm sorry, Kurisu. I can't save you. Kurisu will disappear. She'll be left behind on this world line. There's no place for her in the coming world. I will remember you, Makise Kurisu. I will remember your warmth. I will never forget. I don't know whether Kurisu hears my words. She keeps walking. Strides steady. Back straight. Long silky hair fluttering in the wind. She's quickly fading into the distance. Oops. But I can tell. I see your shoulders trembling. We will never meet again. Our world lines will never cross again. I'm glad I met you, Kurisu. I would have been lost without you. I love you. Goodbye. I stand there in the entrance as commuters file past, until long after she has vanished from sight, afraid that any motion, any thought, might cause the tears to fall. The time has come. We will now commence the final operation of Operation Verthandi. Mayuri and Daru turned to me and nod. Today is the last day of Kamima. Daru wanted to attend, of course, but a little begging convinced him to prioritize the operation. I take a look around the lab. These 20 days have been madness. It's incredible to think that at one point this lab had a whole 8 members. And now we're back to 3. The memories we made, the experiences we shared. To save Mayuri, I will undo them all. There's sorrow in me, and guilt. I engrave them deep inside my heart. I'll never forget. I mustn't forget. These long yet short summer days. But still, I choose to erase our memories. I choose to return everything back to normal. Suzuha's mission is irrelevant. I'm not doing this for the future. As long as Mayuri lives, nothing else matters. Daru, you may begin.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Daru starts typing on the IBM 5100. It's already connected to his main computer. This will get us into CERN's central database, where they keep the data they mine with Echelon. There, we will locate the first email I sent on July 28th and erase all trace of its existence. With this, I can reach the Beta World line. At last, Mayuri will be safe. I look at Mayuri. She's on the couch, sitting straight as a ramrod, with her grandmother's pocket watch pressed to her ear. She stays still, her eyes closed. Whenever Mayuri wants to calm down, she listens to the sound of that pocket watch. Earlier, I told Mayuri everything. I guess she's come to terms with it, in her own way. The actual work, I've left to Daru. No problem there. While waiting for him to finish, I walk into the development room. In the center of the room is a timing machine. I squat down and gently brush my fingers against the microwave surface. It's cool to the touch. I've made irreplaceable friends because of this thing. And because of this thing, I've hurt them. But I don't want to put the blame on the tool. It's how you use the tool that matters. I've got to admit, it saved me more than once. But still, once this is over, I'll destroy the timing machine. We must never make the same mistakes again.
Okurin, I found it. It's really there.
The email I sent? It's there?
Sure is, man.
Daru points to a string of characters. My name is there, followed by the message I wrote about Kurisu's death. 3 lines total, each 12 characters long. This data led CERN to our doorstep. At FB's instruction, Moika and the Rounders attacked. If Suzuha is right, then by erasing this data, we will escape from Attractor Field Alpha, where CERN dominates the future. That'll take us to Attractor Field Beta, to the Beta World Line, within its reach of to the Beta World Line within its range of convergence. to a future without Mayody's death. Mayody is standing next to me, gazing intently at the monitor. She grasps my hand firmly.
Okarin.
It's okay. She looks anxious, so I pat her head to calm her down.
Everything's set. One press of the enter key, and that data's gone.
Daru stands up and gestures to the open seat.
I leave that honor to you. Okarin.
I sit down and face the keyboard. This time it ends. Kirisu's face floats through my mind. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. Goodbye, Kirisu. Slowly, I raise my hand and extend my index finger.
Victory is at hand.
Daru twitches at my cry.
With unimaginable brilliance and unwavering conviction, I have defeated our vast and powerful enemy and now stand triumphant on the field of Ragnarok. I give thanks to the comrades whose sacrifice made this victory possible.
One press of this key, and Kirisu will die. I firmly grip my coat at the shoulder, where it had been stitched together with jagged pink thread. There you go. I knew it was going to be pink. The coming world is the world I wished for. I wished for Mayuri to live, and Kirisu to die. That is the truth, and I must never forget it. This is the choice of Steins Gate. This is the choice of Okabe Rentaro. Let the world be reborn. I swing down my index finger. And at the exact same time, I hear the lab door open. My eyes dart towards the sound. What the? There in the doorway stands Kirisu. Her face is flushed. Was she running? Why is she here? She should be on the way to the airport right now. Kirisu is looking at me. Her eyes are glistening, but her face is all smiles. Did she come back for me? In a split second of frozen time, I imagine I hear her voice.
We didn't say goodbye, she says.
Immediately afterward, my finger strikes the enter key. No! No! The world starts to warp. The timeline is being rewritten. I feel my consciousness being sucked into the vortex. Reading Steiner. Divergence is changing. The warp accelerates. Kirisu. Daru. Mayuri. Everything inside the lab is shifting. Color fades as my consciousness leaves this world line. I turn to face Kirisu, desperate to burn this last sight of her into my eyes. She raises her hand.
Goodbye. Okabe. I love...
The world gradually stops spinning. Do I dare look at my phone right now? Do I dare? What is this? What the heck is this? nothing. Ugh. The world gradually stops spinning. Little by little, color returns. I look to the door. She was standing there just a moment ago. My assistant, Christina. Makise Kurisu. Now she's gone. Vanished like a dream. I look around the room. Next to me is Daru. Behind me is Mayuri. Everything's where it should be. Looks like nothing has changed at all. I gently touch my coat's shoulder, where Kurisu fixed a torn seam. It's gone. My coat isn't torn. The stitches, uneven from having been sewn in the dark, have disappeared. There's no trace of that ridiculous pink thread. I stand up and head towards the development room. Underneath the table, timely machine. No. That's not the timely machine. That's the phone wave. Name subject to change. The upgrades Kurisu made are gone. Nothing has changed. This world is exactly the same. In all respects, save one. Kurisu, never here. Every trace of her has vanished. Kurisu is nowhere now. Nowhere except in my memories. Mayuri and Daru were looking at me. Hey, who was Lab M004 again? I need to ask, even though I know what the answer will be.
Okarin, there isn't a fourth lab member, remember?
You going to introduce a new member? A new member? Requesting cute girl. No. I knew that it would be like this. But the fact that they forgot her existence is so saddening. So frightening. I'm the only person in the world who remembers Makise Kurisu as Lab M004. So I won't forget. I alone will live with her memory engraved upon my heart. Now, time to proclaim my triumph. There are still things that must be done. What are the contacts on my phone right now? I still have... Wait, no, hold on. Moeka's still here? Daru... Okay, I'm just thinking about this. So Moeka's still here for some reason. Well, because I just don't see why we would have met on this timeline. Because we met after the timeline changed. So I guess in this world line we still met her. Daru, Phonewave, Fadis, Owen Kyoma, apparently. Maddie and Lukako. The only one that's like kind of out of place here is Moeka. Just because, again, like the timeline changed to where the time machine was in Radicon, and then while we were there, like I was there like the following day or whatever in the game. Moeka took a picture of me, and then I talked to her about it, like to delete it and everything, and that's when we'd exchanged information. So that still happened on this world line somehow. There's still some things that must be done, and many sacrifices were made to get here. But despite all that, this is my victory. I have won. Heh. Heh heh heh. Mwahahaha. Maddie and Daru stare in wonder at my abrupt laughter. The last battle of Ragnarok is won. I, the insane mad scientist Ho and Kyoma, with an IQ rivaling that of Einstein himself, have thwarted the organization, outsmarted CERN, and conquered the whole of space and time. Now, at the moment of my triumph, I stand before you as a god. This brave new world is the fruit of my ambition. The hated system shall collapse, and chaos shall rule the earth. This is truly the choice of Steins.
Okarin,
Coyote suddenly throws her arms around me. I freeze, utterly taken aback. Doubter looks as confused as I am. Coyote looks up at me and smiles. It's the gentlest smile I've ever seen.
It's okay now.
What are you saying? I must proclaim our glorious victory. That all may...
But Okarin, you look like you're about to cry.
Mm.
You don't have to try so hard, okay? I know you're doing it for me, but I don't want to be a burden. So you don't have to pretend anymore, okay? If you're hurting, just say so, like normal Okarin would. But I don't have to worry about Mayushi anymore. Mayushi is fine. So you can cry if you want to, okay? I don't know what happened, but it's okay to cry. But it's okay to cry now.
And just like that, the mask shatters. All it took was one word from Coyote. Coyote, sister I never had. The girl who always needed my protection. I had to save her. That was my purpose. I even sacrificed the girl I loved. But now, I finally realize that it's over. Coyote is safe. I'm free. Once more, I see Kirisu's face in my mind's eye. I recall the warmth of her body. The softness of her lips. The weight of her last words. One by one, they pound against my heart. I can't bear it anymore. Whoa, man. Are you really crying? My vision blurs. Tears run down my cheeks. A tidal wave of emotion crashes over me. Nothing remains to hold it back. I'll never see Kirisu again. That knowledge shreds my heart. I can't hold back my sobs. I can't stop my tears. This is the world I've been searching for. A world where Coyote does not die. And yet, it's missing the one person most precious to me. It's too much. It's too cruel. Why did it have to be Kirisu? Why was I forced to choose? Why did she send me off with a smile? I cling to Coyote. She strokes my hair gently. I surrender to my grief. 3 days have passed since then, and Coyote is still alive. Moika and the Rounders have not attacked, and Tennoji has shown no sign of moving against us. Doubter's been visiting May Queen as usual, while Coyote has been working on costume designs for next Kamima. Everything's back to normal. Everything, save for the hole in my heart. Whew. That's that. I'm standing by the dumpster out back at the lab. We just finished dumping the last of the trash. This morning, I called Daru, and together we dismantled the phone wave and the IBM 5100. Man, what a waste. That thing was worth a fortune.
Now we don't have a microwave. How will Mayushi eat her juicy chicken #1?
Come on. I'll get you a new microwave. You no longer need the phone wave. That miraculous time machine, built by coincidence. It brought Kurisu into my life. But at the same time, it made many people suffer. It must never be used again. Not by me, not by anyone. It's time for the fun wave to die. And with it, the insane mad scientist Hoenn Kyoma, lord of space and time. I recall what Kurisu once said.
I don't want to deny who I've been, because even my failures are part of who I am today.
I gaze once more upon the scrap heap that was Future Gadget number 8. Stripped it down so to the last bolt and circuit board. Surely no one can rebuild it now. Time travel is too much power for any human to wield. We don't need demails or time leaps. Even if nothing in the future is guaranteed. Even though I may die tomorrow, life was never meant to be redone. That's fine by me. Wouldn't you say so too, Kirisu? I look up at the sky, and even though it's the middle of the day, I can see a single star shining. Maybe it's Venus. Which suddenly reminds me. Going to the past is possible right now. Go look in the stars. Look at this. Wait. Look into the sky at night, and you can see how things were and you see how things were tens of thousands of years ago. It's the sun, you idiot. Every night, we casually travel through time. That's what Karisu said. And each and every word she spoke, I carve into my heart. So that I'll never let them slip from memory. For as long as my life endures. This game is so good. Oh. Oh. For the next ending, I'm gonna have to read a guide and see how to get them. Alright. I think this is the first time I've ever fully cried at a game. Because of a game. Like, I've teared up before, but this is the first time I've fully cried. You were mastering this in Steins Gate 0? I can see why. Oh. That's a good spoilerless guide, alright. Oh. I think I'm gonna have to end the stream here. Oh. Dude, I'm a mess right now. Oh. I'm ending it here. Thanks for watching. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. I probably will, but I have some stuff I need to do tomorrow. So if I have time after that, I might stream. But I don't even know if you guys can understand me right now. I'm just such a mess right now. But yeah. Yeah. I'll see you guys. Oh, thanks for watching again.